Good morning, guys. Well, the New York Times, they just can't decide. Do they know what they're writing about or do they not? And, the fact is, they don't know what they're writing about because they don't ever investigate. And when they do investigate, well, if later on it goes against what the establishment wants, well, then they take it back. And, like they said first that, yes, Trump was being wiretapped, and then they said no. And, it's like, talk about flip-flopping. Anyway, moving on to some of the other news here from Breitbart. In Norway, the immigration minister was slammed pretty hard for wearing a crucifix in a vile attack, and they say that she was slammed from the liberal media for being accused of wearing a crucifix necklace merely as a prop to promote xenophobic views. And before this is all said and done, the far left media is going to go bye-bye all over the world, and they will be no more. Not for a very, very long time. People are fed up. They don't believe them. The people of Norway and Sweden as well. They may not be in power right now, but believe me, the vast majority, they know that they don't want those migrants there, and they know that they're being lied to. Laura Ingraham, on the Russia-Trump conspiracy, she said it's typical Washington feeding frenzy. Actually, no, Laura, it's not typical. They are fighting for their very lives. They're fighting for their freedom. They know they're about to go to jail. They know that they're about to be indicted. They know they are in trouble. And they're fighting like crazy. Now, there's nothing typical about this. Former Intel chief admits there's no evidence of the Russian, but that's not going to stop the far left media who are bought and paid for. The media is afraid too. They're caught up in all this. They see their multi-million-dollar contracts going bye-bye. They see their lifestyle going bye-bye. Let's see, New York Times, let's see. No, we talked about that. Joy Villa calls for love tolerance at Gays for Trump rally. A lot of people, because of the media, they don't realize how many gays actually voted for Trump. As a matter of fact, they don't realize how many blacks voted for Trump, as well as Hispanics, and as well as the Asians. They just, not to mention the white people as well. The fact is, you had roughly 75% of the people in this country who voted, they voted for Donald Trump. And you had roughly about 50% of the blacks and Hispanics voting for Trump. And it was a higher percentage of Asians. And obviously for the whites, 75-80% of us, we voted for him. So it's a much, much higher percentage than they're willing to say. You're never going to hear the truth from the mainstream media. You will only hear the truth from them if they are absolutely forced to say it. Congress taking aim, and I tell you what, the far left are shitting in their pants on this one. Congress taking aim at the DOJ slush fund to left-wing activists. There are so many implications here, just as there is with the wiretapping. The problem here for the far left with this slush fund, it's the corruption of using money to fund all the left-wing crap. And then here's a guy, road rage, that he smashed a truck window and then pepper sprayed the driver. People are just out of their minds. They're just, I just wouldn't live in the city, period. Chicago gangs acquiring guns. by way of railway yard robberies. They're getting them any way they can. Schweizer, Trump, Russia, conspiracy theorists lose all credibility. And they have for quite a while. Nobody believes their shit anymore. And then New York Times, this is how stupid they are. They say soon they'll be talking about taking away his nuclear codes. They're going to be talking about taking away your job is what they're going to talk about, and doing away with the New York Times. How about that? Let's see. Deep State Gate. Democrats, Russian hacking conspiracy theory backfires. It's backfiring bad on them. Here's Pelosi. I think the press were accomplices in undermining our election. Well, they did try. They tried to make it sound like Hillary was going to win the whole time. They made it sound like she was way ahead. Pelosi. I love what one guy said. Is her mouth moving when she talks? She's had so much plastic surgery. I mean, honestly. And then pro-Trump rallies across America are standing up to the violence. Good. You need to go prepared. Here's a guy that got fired for being drunk at work down in Florida. He's from Hialeah. Tries to run his boss over. Or his ex-boss. How about that? And how much fun is that? And then, let's see here. Chris Wallace accuses Democratic senator of more than a whiff of McCarthyism. Chris, don't tell me you're actually pulling your head out. Is that because you have to, or what? Cornell University students. Faculty demand college provide funding to illegal immigrants. Hey, how about this, faculty? And to student, number one, the Cornell University students, it's mommy and daddy they're paying for their education. And the other students there, they're getting grants. And mostly they're just getting grants for going there. So very few people who go to Cornell are actually paying for it on their own. The vast majority is paid for by mommy and daddy. So yeah, they're okay with it. And to the faculty who demand it, how about they take money out of your paycheck to pay for the illegal immigrants? How about that one? And then we'll see how you really feel about wanting these illegal immigrants to be paid for. Yeah, I'm thinking you're going to change your mind. And then White House on Obama's denial of wiretap claim. As they say, they don't exactly have the best track record. They have lied about anything and everything. And then Department of Homeland Security pauses fast track H-1B approvals for 6 months. Awesome. Guys, that is all for now. God bless y'all. Have a good day, and I will talk with you later. Bye-bye.